always felt my paintings lacked drama until one artist showed me a crucial step that I was missing in my paintings. Welcome to Conversations with Canvas, your go-to space for art tips, painting demos and art supply reviews. It's letter J for this week's Alphabet Still Life Paint Challenge, and I'm going to be painting this vintage jug, and all that I'm going to be using is two paints, that is black as well as white. This was the step that I thought was such a waste of time and paint, but now I can't start a painting without it. Yep, I'll be doing a value study with using gouache on craft paper. I prefer using a mid-tone paper to do this value studies because it really is helpful to understand the lights and darks, and this mid-tone paper helps me do that. Today I'm using the craft paper, but sometimes I do use the grey tone or the skin tone paper for these kind of studies. Today I'm doing a 4 value studies, that is there'll be 1 dark, 1 light and 2 mid-tones. And I prefer to do either a 4 value or a 5 value study, as I prefer my paintings to look more expressive and painterly. But if you like to do realism or you prefer realism, you could do a 7 to 8 value study. Also, something that I prefer to do is pre-mixing all the values. Now this helps me so that while I'm painting, I can only concentrate on my brushwork and the shapes of the value and not be bothered about mixing the right value. Now I like to start with the darkest value, and you could start with the lightest value too, but choose one of the extreme ends. And to find the darkest value, all I do is squint real hard. Now if you want to know how you can simplify any subject into its values, that is 3, 4 or 5 values, you need to watch my videos Simplify Any Subject with Shapes. Another trick that I use basically to get the values right is I forget what subject I'm painting, and I don't think, oh, I'm painting a jug or I'm painting an apple or a landscape. What I just start thinking is I look for the shape of each value, and that's what I do. Just spot the big simple shapes of the lights and darks and just paint that. When I started off painting, I never actually did a value study, as I didn't know the importance of doing a value study and how important it was to understand the values of colors. Now, since I've started including this value study as a preparatory step for my final paintings, I have realized that it has helped me simplify the composition, as I'm always looking for high contrast also in my painting, and it has helped me take out the guesswork of color. Also, I make less mistakes while painting, and my painting has a great contrast and simplified subject, which makes my painting look so much more stronger. And the best part is I don't use a lot of fancy art supplies to do a value studies. I use acrylics, gouache, graphite pencils or even markers. Actually, whatever I have on my hand can be used to do a value study. And I don't do them as large as I'm showing it today. I usually do them as tiny thumbnails in my sketchbooks. And guess what? On days when I'm feeling more creative, I use it as a map and change all the colors in the photograph. You can check out my video From Grey to Gorgeous to see how a value scale is changed into a different color painting, and also a video Stop Copying from Your Photos, where I just change the colors to a complementary color scheme. And that's it. Including this simple step of doing a value study has made a huge difference in my art journey. It is all about planning, playing, and training the eye to look beyond color. I once heard an artist say, value does all the work and color takes all the credit. So if your paintings are also feeling off, chances are it's the values and not the colors. Next time, just include this preliminary step of doing a quick little thumbnail of this value study with a pen in your sketchbook, and you will see the difference it will make in your final painting. Also, next week I'm moving on to letter K in the Alphabet Still Life Paint Challenge, and I can't wait to show you what I'll be creating for letter K. Until next time, take care, keep creating, and I'll see you soon for more art magic on Conversations with Canvas. Bye.